was never supposed to be like this. I think that's something that we often forget when we start blaming God for our situations, or for the fact that in this world there are trials, there is grief, there are terrible things that, you know, people have to walk through. There's sickness, obviously, even death. Like, that wasn't God's original design. And I think maybe some people either don't realize it or just don't think about it. But when God created the Garden of Eden, he created it as like this perfect paradise, and that's what we were intended for. I don't think a lot of people realize that, but that was actually God's original design. God did not originally design humanity to, die. That wasn't in the initial plan, okay? And so this grief and this, suffering and hurt in the world, that was never in the plan, and it's not even God's heart today. God designed us to live in this perfect paradise with him. Well, then humanity came, Adam and Eve, and honestly messed it all up due to disobedience, and really brought this sin into the world. And this is a generational thing. Now we live under this, in this time of where there's sin and there is suffering and there is pain, and there are all of these things that are really tough. And because of this, right, this world has brokenness and it has hurt. And now, because the Bible even teaches the wages of sin, it's death, right? And so that's where death actually entered the scene. God didn't create us for that. He created us for just communion and fellowship with him, just like it was supposed to be in the garden. So really, the things that we're blaming God for, this was never part of his original design. But because he is a good dad, he's a good father, he actually, through Jesus, made a way that we could still have this, right? We could still go and be with him for all of eternity one day. And it doesn't mean that this world is nothing but suffering. When you walk with Jesus, you will experience suffering. His word says, you'll experience trials of many kinds. Obviously, Jesus himself did. But there is hope with him. There is life with him. There is joy with him. Real joy can only be found in the presence of God. But things will not be perfect until we get to eternity. But here's the thing. God created things to be perfect. And really, it's humanity that messed it up. But because he's a loving God, he still made a way for us to live in perfection and eternity with him. So I know that when you're struggling and when you're suffering and when you're having a hard time, it can be really hard to see that. But I want you to know that there is a loving God, and he created you just to know him. And when your heart breaks, so does his.